you want to look at roam options, there is a Cho right now. If Troll is comfortable with it, you could take it. If not, then maybe you can just ban it, right? Because you're on that red side. If not, if you want pickoffs, the Kaja is always like sort of that option. You want to get to the Eve, you want to stop this Suyo from dancing around your backlines, that can also work as well. Really comes down to how messy Twisted Minds wants the team fights to be, just like game 1.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit more awkward if you're going to play as something that's a little bit more ult reliant. Right now, I mean, with the Joyan as well as the Moskov, they can basically fight on a dime, right?
Yeah.
I think that at this point, looking on based on where the bans are going for, what?
Oh. Wow, they banned the Claw, huh?
Interesting.
But why? Do they want to play Farsa or something? But then they've already got Gatot, and then there's also like Suyo who can cancel it out.
Yeah.
What are they worried about with Bot? Is that,
yeah,
whoa!
They're trying out there.
It could be because they want RRQ Hoshi to play with a marksman that isn't really going to be splitting the lanes, but joining the other members of RRQ Hoshi, looking to win via the team fights. So that's why good ban by RRQ. They read it. They read it. The low E.
I mean, they did it in the previous game, you know, with the first 3 picks, the even as well as the Loyu getting banned out on top of the Hilda. But at least now, for the side of RRQ, I think at this point, what are they worried about, right? Are they going to be prioritizing whether or not, you know, Gato going into the EXP4, Dyron is going to be a good option, or are we thinking it's just about priority?
I think right now when you have such huge power picks, you're thinking about how to bolster that. But I think in the back of the mind is also first how to stop the Joy and how to get to the Moskov, right? Like these are two very slippery heroes that can easily not only kind of mess up your battle formations, but in these moments of chaos can overwhelm you. Especially when the late game rolls around, right? Like we talk about the Cho being picked up, you want to split those battle lines, that Cho is perfect.
Okay, you have your Vision Getter, you have your Front Holder. Is Skylar gonna go pick up one of his iconic picks in Season 14 of MPLID in the Nathan, or is he just gonna follow the trend now and consider either the Great or... Oh wait, oh yeah, Irithel's another one of his iconic picks. Okay, so are they gonna look for another source of magic? Need another front, it can't just be the Gatot. Ruby! Oh, nice micro stun up against the Joy. Oh wait, now they can go Valentina again.
They can go Valentina again. They've got some pretty relevant ults at this point, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, right? Because it doesn't matter what mid-duel, whether you switch out for Ruby for the Gato Gacha, they are going to have full control over that mid lane in I mean, as long as you have a concussive blast, right?
I mean, as much as we say that if Coffin gets his hands on the RWM, it sort of defeats the purpose of what RQ wants to do. You have a Gato backline die, but everyone else wants to run in, and you don't really want to run into an RWM.
Yeah, and if there's a real-world manipulation on the side of Twisted Minds, that's a little bit happier for Joy as well, because RQ is trying to get out of that, but then at the same time, they'll have to try and get away from the Joy.
Of course. Still go back for Sicilian.
Of course, go for your Sicilian, yeah?
Late game monster, right? So much late game damage.
I mean, it's the classic, right? Again, walk me through which draft do you think is going to be taking it away? Is it going to be enough?
I'm leaning a little bit more towards RRQ Hoshi, but we cannot deny that Sicilian needs to be respected.
What about you, Husky?
Same. I like RRQ's draft a lot more.
All right, that's the opinion from the panel. Let's throw it over to the casters to get us into game number 2.
What? I'm not sure which draft I would go with here because there's both both have signature picks, and the fact that Twisted Minds just got the Sicilian, they can replicate what they just did in game 1. And I think part of this too is just the determination that they showed in game 1 already. If they carry it here, again, they're at match point in this best of 3. Can RRQ bring this composition to the table to get them to a game 3? Because of course, both teams want to move forward to the knockout.
The Land of Dawn remains a silent witness to history lived and rewritten. But will it bear witness to history twisted for the first ever MENA team making it to an M-Series top 8? Only time shall tell in game 2 between RRQ Hoshi and Twisted Minds.
And as we get a look at the junglers here, this is going to be a crucial thing. We've seen so much of the Suyo pop off and a lot of early game potential, but same thing can be said now often with the Joy. She's been it's just been a pick that's popped up a lot. It's quite durable, it's quite mobile, and against this kind of lineup, that's exactly what you need, and maybe that's also why there's a little bit of that catch, you know, that comes through with a Ruby. The mobility itself can be matched with Skylar now on this Irithyll. A lot of early aggression already.
Troll gonna do some poking, but actually ends up overcommitting himself. Has to use Flicker already at the first minute of the game.
As I was saying, you know, Sudafa, that's part of the plan with the Ruby. A pick we haven't seen too often throughout the Swiss stage alone. But it's there to be able to catch, you know, any of these heroes out, really, that Twisted Minds have brought to the table. And it could actually end up being in a situation where, yeah, maybe Troll overextends a little bit, tries to get that set up or that kick that he's looking for, but then there's a Ruby across from you. And even for Hoda to try to bounce in between, like we've seen so much of Joy just escape situations, you know, with very little health left, but now that you have the catch here available, that should help them out. Trying to delay this a little bit more from Hoda, but Hoda's going to be fine. Now go into it when we lead ourselves in that first objective, that first turtle, so to speak. Which team has the advantage here when it comes to their lineups?
I would say that RRQ Hoshi definitely has a composition that plays towards their comfort, right? Which is that early to mid game. They've got a lot more resources, a lot more access to early game damage, and having a Ruby to stop Hoda on this Joy as well means that they can take fights very, very easily. We can see that Twisted Minds isn't even going to try and contest the first turtle.
Yeah, they really got to wait for that level 4, I feel like, for Troll, you know, to be able to pick people off if they can. He doesn't have it just yet, but
Hoda coming in, electrifying beats used, not gonna overcommit on Edok though. That is gonna be Hoda's ultimate enemy. Twisted Minds needs to respect their opponent's positioning this game.
This might be one of those games too where Twisted Minds just waits for the late game, like trying to drag things out the best you can. If you do get a pick off with utilizing Troll here on the Cho, then great, but if not, then play for the late game and build up into the fact that you have the Sicilian this time around, and even the Moskov for Sano. Because the pacing really from RRQ, just like they did in the previous game, they're the ones that started things up. They got things going, and I expect them to do the same here in the mid.
Top in a lot of trouble. Flicker hook from the Ruby, and Rin's gonna pick up first blood in the mid lane.
That's what I was talking about. You know, you set things up with the real world manipulation, helps slow things down a little bit, but then you throw in a Ruby, able to catch things out. Couple shots here. Troll's trying to help out here for this, but oh,
the Flicker jump going to miss actually. The CC from Edok messing with Troll's rotation. That's not going to be a catch on Skylar they were looking for.
I feel like this is enough of a wrench thrown into the cogwheel, that Ruby pick. Mid!
Coffin literally getting smushed into face by the AOG. Electrifying beats, but it's not going to save Hoda as the I'm Offended pulls him in and gives Sutsujin his first kill of the game.
The stock value on the Ruby definitely going up here. You know, at this point, this is a very big lead already early on. Purple buff.
Sano gonna actually take the Spear of Destruction. Purple buff still stolen away by Sutsujin. Unfortunately, his presence not gonna matter too much. Moskov doesn't have enough damage, but the Glorious Pathway is committed anyway. Sanguine Claws pulling Dyren back. They're looking for a kill, any kill they can get, and they'll find it. Sano gonna finish off Dyren, and now Troll jumping forward gets CC'd, but there's so much damage actually from Twisted Minds. Coffin having his first kill. Real World Manipulation comes out. Blade Surge actually stuns Coffin, and he's still stuck in the death box. He's gonna be finished off by Sutsujin, so RRQ will trade a little bit back.
A good showing that they still want to fight, even though they lost the purple buff. They'll go for it. They're trying to make a play up top.
Skylar in a lot of trouble. Hoda's just going to chase him down with Sano, but Skylar! So much Sano! Almost picked off, but not quite enough. At the very least, Sutsujin is able to grab the turtle on the other side of the map.
Trading blow for blow, whether it's for kills, whether it's for objectives, both teams finding something in these exchanges, but still it's RRQ Hoshi that holds on to the lead. 2,000 gold up, some big items being picked up, those first items locked in. And so we see these fights break out, and we see Twisted Minds really trying to fight it out, but ultimately they're just getting a little bit overpowered, you know, in terms of strength. They're gonna need some time to build up on what they need, but they do find something. They still hold into the game, and they did the same thing in the previous one. As long as they keep it from getting into, you know, crazy lead territory like we've seen in the past, through the past couple of days where you're talking about 6,000 to 8,000 gold leads, then they should be relatively fine in securing the late game.
Way of the Dragon finds Rins into the AOG. Not gonna land, unfortunately. Rins able to pop up that real world manipulation, and now Twisted Minds completely caught out. Troll is gone. Mike Sama falls. Double kill for RRQ. Both given over to Skylar.
Such a good job from Edok there. Just literally all he did was plant himself in between where Cuffin was from that fight, because Mike Samat jumped in with the Avatar of the Guardian, and then Cuffin really didn't have a way to actually enter that fight and use those bat impacts the way he was looking to. So right now, RRQ Hoshi, you know, they looks like they've solved this issue that they had previously, or even what they saw in the previous game when the Sicilian was picked up by Twisted Minds. And both junglers just kind of battling it out. No one else here really to help him out. Well, 1v1 though.
That's actually a bit of a mistake. Rotation from Hoda, and Sutsujin will punish it. Killing spree for the Suyo on RRQ. They're gonna look and continue chasing, zoning Troll backwards. This next turtle should easily be in their control.
I know you're elusive on the Joy, but that's not a fight you want to take. You don't want to take the 1v1 versus a Suyo, especially when those retributions are available. And now this turtle's up. And this is just going to be a 3 for 3 for RRQ. Troll goes in, jumps in again.
Ooh, we have the Dragon canceling here. RWM comes out, RUG as well. Sutsujin, this whole time, is just taking the turtle, and even despite his absence, RRQ Hoshi are taking control of the entire team fight. Troll just going to be funneled in here, trying to run away, but he also knows that he's licked. They're going to try and surround Sutsujin to get some payback, and they will find the shutdown for Cuffin.
Good pickup on a kill on for Cuffin here. But still, you're seeing it. You know, these team fights are not going the way of Twisted Minds at all. And it's a little bit more difficult this time around because they're just going for the front. You know, they don't have this chip this time to throw things off and come in from a different angle. Or like, for example, when we see the Luiyis with the diversions, this time around, they kind of just rely on Troll to go in with the Way of the Dragon, the kick, but then you're so exposed because of the fact that you're playing into real-world manipulation from Rins that it's really difficult to actually get the angles you're looking for. And this is just now turrets getting knocked down, worked on here from RRQ, building up on the lead that they have. And Twisted Minds, how do they get back into this game? You know, how do they actually get some control in their favor? Even though they found a couple kills here and there, that's great for them, but it puts them in a bad position for the First Lord. They're gonna have a hard time here. Kicks coming out from Troll.
Yep, Hoda trying to follow up on Sutsujin. Electrifying is gonna come out. RWM not gonna be able to stop Hoda, but they're gonna be able to find the taunt with Dyron, and that is a lot of damage. But Hoda able to dash away. Even the Glorious Pathway used to support their escape. Meanwhile, there's a 1v1 between Skylar and Sano in the bottom jungle. Sano has to run off. You can see the Hero Tail starting to hit that power spike. Spear of Destruction going to miss on Edok as well. So RQ wanting to look for trades wherever they can.
Still gotta respect the fact that Twisted Minds is willing to take these fights even down what they are in terms of economy. They're still trying to make it happen, trying to make it in a position where, yeah, they're not at a huge disadvantage for that First Lord. And given that, you know, they actually might be able to contest this. They might be able to go ahead and go toe-to-toe with RRQ Hoshi, as they've gotten themselves in a position where, even for Cuffin, you know, I'm wondering how many stacks he has. I know it's still early in the game, but also a Malefic Gun being picked up here by Skylar. Some more defensiveness for Dyron. And Troll, he's going to have a hard time making this work. It's been difficult for him so far, and he's going to get pulled this time.
Literally the moment you said it, Troll faces even more difficulty, not even able to escape from that rush because of all the crowd control from RQ. Glorious Pathway comes out, Hoda looking for Skylar, not able to connect as Edok flickers forward and stuns him. Hoda has to run away, and that means Mike Sama going to be abandoned in the backline. Cuffin trying to support with artillery fire, but it's not going to be enough as Skylar grabs a killing spree.
This is just going to be a trade now. Lord being taken here, that tier 1. Sano takes that down on the bottom side. They'll still try to hold on to the mid turret. Looks like they do, but Edok popping the conceal. That Spirit of Destruction won't land either. So this is just cross map after cross map happening for both teams. Hoda, though, they're gonna have to get together, restructure this at this point because they got a Lord to deal with. And Twisted Minds, they've put work in, you know, trying to get some of these turrets down. They've managed to get 2.
I'm offended. Troll gonna get pulled away. Still has Shunpo though. RQ not gonna full commit on that just yet.
That's why I was saying it was difficult here, Snafa. I mean, he still got the flicker, you know. But as the Lord comes in and they try to hold on to the turrets, they're gonna have to make this work. Hoda Gonna get spotted out. Look at the damage.
The melting damage from Sutsujin. Dairon not able to chase, but that is all of Hoda's resources down for the count. And the Lord is still going to be pushing down bottom lane. RRQ going to be able to do a lot of tower damage with this next push. After all of that was baited out, Glorious Pathway comes out from Mike Sama to slow down the push. Edok actually stuck inside, but RWM actually catches out Mike Sama instead. Mega kill for Rins, and AOG continuing to zone out Twisted Minds into their base.
Shields are popping. Lord still has to be dealt with as Twisted Minds finds himself on the defense without Mike Sama for a little bit longer. They're going for the base turrets right now, still going to be worked on. Edok is a huge threat on this Ruby. I'm offended.
Once again on the troll, and he's just gone melted as if he never existed. Skylar hitting that power spike, and Coffin slain as RRQ Hoshi, eager for vengeance, eager to twist their opponents right back. They will take game number 2 and bring us to a full series.
It's what we expected here. They didn't waste any time. Again, 11 minutes, 12 seconds. They saw the Sicilian, they saw what happened yesterday, and they're like, that is not happening here. Not even giving a chance for those stacks to build up. Great adjustments from RRQ. A very clean game. You know, this time around, right off the bat, able to punish. And again, I think the